What if I told you that much of Africa's history has been hidden from the world? This isn't just a gap in the story, it's a deliberate omission. Welcome to a journey into the untold stories of Africa, as told through podcasts like Africa's Untold Stories and the Journal of African History podcast. These platforms are not just sharing history, they are reclaiming it. Let's start with Africa's Untold Stories, a podcast available on Amazon Music. It's described as a show that highlights lessons from this significant aspect of the continent's history. But what does that really mean? It's about diving into narratives that were marginalized during the colonial era. Think of it as peeling back layers of a story that has been overshadowed by Eurocentric views. The podcast explicitly frames its mission as covering African history that is largely untold. Now, let's talk about the Journal of African History podcast. This is an academic podcast associated with the Journal of African History. It's a bridge between public history and scholarship. Here, you'll find discussions grounded in research, offering a deeper understanding of Africa's past. The existence of both popular and academic podcasts indicates a broader shift. It's about moving away from colonial narratives and toward African-centered interpretations. But there's a challenge here. A lot of podcasts listed under African Stories are actually folktale or children's storytelling shows. This distinction is crucial because it blurs the line between history and folklore. Shows like African Folktales with Miss Jojo and Stories Mother Told are preserving oral traditions, which are central to many African societies. However, they are not strictly historical podcasts. This blurring can distort audience expectations. When people search for African history, they might end up with folktales. This isn't just a confusion, it's a reflection of deeper issues. Whose archives count? African history podcasts often have to work around colonial records and missionary documents. These sources marginalize African oral traditions and local historiographies. That's why the Untold Stories framing is so important. It's about recovering histories that were pushed to the sidelines. Now, let's talk about the broader podcast ecosystem. Platforms like Afripod and African Podcast are creating spaces for African creators to reach diaspora audiences and listeners across borders. This is part of a larger trend where African cultural production is happening through mobile-first, on-demand media. It's not just about universities, radio, or print anymore. Podcasts are becoming a powerful tool for education and representation. So, why does this matter today? African history podcasts connect directly to contemporary debates about identity, decolonization, heritage, and representation. They are reclaiming narratives that have been underrepresented in global media. The rise of this podcast is a testament to the resilience of African storytelling. It's about taking control of the narrative and sharing it with the world. In conclusion, the Story of African History podcast is more than just a tale of media evolution. It's about reclaiming the past to shape the future. These platforms are not just sharing stories, they are rewriting them. And in doing so, they are ensuring that Africa's history is no longer untold.